Well, yay. Happy birthday, Lola. So Lola Montez turning 200 today. And we are celebrating, and we are celebrating around the world. So this is a really exciting thing that we're able to share with people across the world. My name is Megan Lloyd. I'm the Adult Services Librarian at the Madeline Helling Library. And just in case you missed our introductions, I have Elisa Austin here from the Grass Valley Library and Laura Papani from the Doris Foley Library for Historical Research. So today we're going to be sharing a few videos and information and yeah, throughout the rest of this week and into Sunday, we're going to be sharing information from from authors who have written about Lola. So they each are going to do their presentation each day, 1 o'clock, right here on Facebook Live. All right, so without further ado, let me share with you a brief video that we put together. It would help if I turned on the sound.
It's muted.
Online program review, and I noticed that Lola was turning 200 this year, so we quickly pulled together this party. Before Madonna, Lady Gaga, or even Mae West, there was Lola. She created her persona and, like her successors, would quickly change her story. What is real? What is false? Our speakers will tell us. Born on February 17th, 1821, Lola traveled around the world to places such as Ireland, Scotland, England, Spain, France, Poland, Germany, Russia, Switzerland, Italy, Panama, Nicaragua, and many cities throughout the US and Australia. She was a performer with lots of personality.
So, we also have birthday greetings from Lola enthusiasts from around the world. We have greetings from Reinhold Rauh of South Korea, Jerry Bird, the head of the science department of Sligo University, the Lola Montez nightclub in Sligo, Ireland, Michelle Cashman, local studies librarian from Sligo Central Library, Eliza Tree of Castlemaine, Australia, reciting a poem, the National Portrait Gallery of Australia, providing a Lola narration along with a painting of Lola Montez that was commissioned by King Ludwig I, a letter from the descendants of the von Gunther family of Germany, Annie Moore, a Lola Montez impersonator and author of the upcoming book Who's Got the Countess, Lola Montez, a subject and source of misinformation. Some of the staff of the Grass Valley Library and conductor Georg Ringsvogel provided us the Spider Dance by Antonio Munkel and Katja Bachter of the Bavarian Theater. And kudos to Megan Lloyd for putting it all together.
Bruce Seymour, a two-time Jeopardy champion and author of Lola Montez, A Life, will discuss Lola's life in Grass Valley and talk about the many faces of Lola. It was Bruce who put us in contact with our other three speakers who are from around the globe. Dr. Marita Krauss of Germany provided a video of her lecture on the letters between Lola and King Ludwig I of Bavaria with subtitles. She is the author of Das Leben der Lola Montez, The Life of Lola Montez. She mentioned that our program has been mentioned in the press in Germany, which is very exciting. We also have James Morton, a British true crime writer or author, who is the author of Lola Montez, Her Life and Conquests. He will cover Lola's criminal acts in the United Kingdom and elsewhere. And from South Korea, we have author Reinhold Rauh. He will be discussing Lola. He is the author of 3 Lola Montez books: Lola Montez, Die Königliche Matresse, The Royal Mattress; Ludwig I und Lola Montez, der Briefwechsel, Ludwig and Lola Montez, the correspondence, and a novel, Die Lieben der Lola Montez in Zeiten des Zweiten Amerikanischen Bürgerkriegs, The Loves of Lola Montez during the Second American Civil War.
There are many books and writings about Lola. We have titles and links in our Facebook post below. There was a Max Ophuls poem, Lola Montez, starring Martine Carroll and Peter Ustinov. It was based on a fictional book. There should be a new movie covering more of the real aspects of Lola, which consisted of romance, blackmail, murders, lies, intrigue, and betrayal. When temperatures warm up, you might want to climb Mount Lola, which is off of Highway 20. It has an elevation of 9,143 feet.
All right, so we would like to invite everyone to join us in singing Happy Birthday to Lola. And as soon as I can share our video. Here we are. All right, as soon as you see the birthday cake, please join me in singing happy birthday. So happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Lola. Happy birthday to you. All right, so now we have invited people from around the world to say happy birthday to Lola. So we're going to share with you some of that.
Greetings from Sligo. My name is Michelle Cashman and I am the librarian in the Local Studies Library, and I'm delighted to be joining in the Lola Montez birthday celebrations. Lola Montez was born in Grange, a village in Sligo on the west coast of Ireland, on the 17th of February 1821. Her parents were Edward Gilbert, a British officer, and Eliza Oliver, an Irish noblewoman. She was christened Mary Dolores Eliza Rosanna Gilbert. When she was young, she was called Doloro, the possible origins of Lola. The family moved to England when she was about 2 years old. Her father was posted to India in 1823, and the family went with him. However, he died there from cholera in 1824, not long after they had arrived. Her mother remarried and Lola was sent back to be educated, initially to an uncle in Scotland and then to England. Her first marriage at 16 didn't last long. She took up Spanish dancing, changed her name to Lola Montez, and launched her career as a dancer. She traveled to Paris and quickly became part of the intellectual bohemians of the day, including Franz Liszt, Georges Sand, and Alexandre Dumas. She moved on to Munich, where she became the mistress of King Ludwig I. He made her Countess von Landsfeld and gave her an income of 2,000 a year. He also granted her Bavarian citizenship, much to the chagrin of the Bavarian people, the government of the day, and the Jesuits. The government resigned in protest, and Lola fled to Switzerland to escape the ensuing furore. She moved on to America and Australia, performing and giving lectures on beauty, heroines of history, and America and its people. She eventually settled in New York and died there on the 17th of January 1861. The life of Lola Montez was widely reported in the newspapers in Ireland. She is described in the Belfast newsletter of 1848 as graceful and dignified, and knows the art of dressing to perfection. The Freeman's Journal in 1859 reported on a lecture by Lola thus: "She has a head in which the intellect is considerably developed, a fascinating expression, a clear, sweet-toned, ringing presence, and enunciation so distinct that we venture to think not a word was lost throughout the evening." She gave another lecture in Dublin in 1858, and the Dundalk Democrat reported, "None of the portraits of her that have been published seem to approach the ever-varying expressions of her features, which reflect every feeling that animates her as she speaks." Everything about her seemed to be of interest, as can be seen in the Waterford News and Star of 1848, where it reported that Madame Lola Montez, Countess of Lansfeld, passed through Sacramento on her way to Grass Valley. Among her parlor ornaments were a piano, a parrot, 2 dogs, and a grizzly bear. The interest in Lola was because she defied the conventions of the day by marrying several times, having a career and lovers. She excited passions, even had a duel fought over her. She wasn't afraid to defend herself. In several news reports, she admonished her detractors with a horsewhip. Lola also defended herself in the newspapers against the Jesuits and others. In the Nina Guardian of 1858, stating, "To the thousands of malicious falsehoods which have been published against me, I will not and do not reply, it being my determination to patiently leave the events of my life to history, while I leave to my calumniators, to that God who has ordained a special act for the punishment of liars." She didn't pull her punches. Here we are celebrating her birthday in 2021, so Lola was right to leave it to history. There have been many films, plays, and books written about her, including one by the Irish historian Turtle Bunbury, so her legacy lives on. Last year, Mr. Donal Tinney, the Sligo County Librarian, purchased a miniature portrait of Lola Montez for our collection. It is a reduced version of a larger oil painting by the Austrian artist Joseph Karl Stieler. It is signed by the artist and is painted in oil on porcelain. Joseph Stieler was the court artist to the Bavarian kings. It was painted for King Ludwig I. It was kept in the Gallery of Beauties, portraits of 36 of the most beautiful women of the time. We are very proud that Sligo is the birthplace of Lola Montez. She was a woman before her time, adventurous, independent, intelligent, and vivacious. Mr. Donal Tinney and the staff of Sligo Libraries wish her a very happy 200th birthday.
And I am from Lola Montez nightclub in Sligo, Ireland. This is just a shout out to everybody in Grass Valley in California on marking Lola Montez's 200th birthday. I hope you enjoy the celebrations, and if you're ever over in Ireland, call into us.
Notice of my performance of the spider dance at the Theatre Royal last evening appeared in this morning's edition of the Argus, couched in such language as to render it imperative on me to reply to it. The piety and ultra-puritanism of the Argus might possibly operate to prevent the insertion of a letter in their columns bearing my signature, and therefore I address myself to you, relying on your sense of justice to publish this communication, in fairness to myself and the public. The dance in question is essentially a national one, and is witnessed with delight in Spain by all classes and both the sexes, from the queen to the pensioner. I am not the inventor or originator of the dance in question, but simply the delineator of a great national spectacle. I do not perform the dance to minister to any morbid taste for immoral representations. I have always looked upon it as a work of high art, and on artistic grounds alone I appear before the Melbourne public, as I have appeared in the same character before the most distinguished audiences in the world, and I throw back with scorn the insinuation of the artist that I in this dance come forward to pander to a morbid taste for indelicate representations. Theirs is the indelicacy who look at any work of art with an arrière-pensée in their minds. Let them remember that the symbol of innocence is the statue of Eve, and that since the days when Eve surveyed herself in the fountain, works of art, however portrayed, have by their very character been saved from the ribaldry of the licentious or uninitiated. For example, the Venice de Medici and Power's Greek slave.
Happy birthday, Lola. Happy 200th birthday, Lola Montez.
Hello, my name is Reinhold Rauh. I'm speaking to you from one of the very few regions in this world where Lola Montez has never been, even she intended to do so. I'm speaking from East Asia, my special case from South Korea. 생일 축하합니다. Alles Gute zum Geburtstag. Best birthday wishes to you, Lola Montez.
I have known all the world has a gift. I have never claimed to be famous, notorious I have always been. To all men and women of every language who are not afraid of themselves, who trust so much in their own souls, that they dare to stand up in the might of their own individuality to meet the title burdens. Happy birthday, Lola Montez and Lieben Gilbert.
Happy 200th birthday, Lola, from us in Sligo.
My cousin Alexander von Gunther and myself learned from Professor Marita Krauss in Germany about your project to celebrate the 200th birthday of Lola Montez. Our relation to Lola comes from the brother of our great-great-grandfather, Karl von Gunther, and his wife Fanny, who were close friends to Lola during her amour fou with the Bavarian king, Ludwig I in Munich. For this friendship with Lola, the family of Gunther was severely mobbed by the society of the court. In compensation for the incurred inconveniences, Karl von Gunther got, as it was told by our grandparents, a small estate in a little village alongside the Lake of Starnberg, historically not confirmed, and a beautiful cup with the portrait of the king was given to him, which is still in possession of Alexander. The connection between the king, Lola, and Karl, and his wife Fanny has always been an important subject in our families, which has been handed over from generation to generation. Though Alexander could not join me today, we both wish the whole of Grass Valley a successful and worthy celebration of Lola's birthday, and follow your intention with great affection. Cheers. Christian von Jordan and Alexander von Gunther.
Lola Montez is not as she says, Spanish 12%. Rosanna Gilbert and Irish the like most of common men. At the near age of 3, they set sail for the East, Mama, Papa, and she, to serve in the ranks of the platoon. Taken by cholera, followed by the social scene, slowly to the warm months of the fires, those many. Lola was a picture, delightful to behold, an unusual child in an exotic realm, and Nanny loved Lola so. Mama soon remarried, ranks to Major General Craig of the British Army. Age of 6 was young. The time had surely come to spend Eliza home to the old country, her letters for to learn. Language and refinements. No, should be just who were her peers. Scotland, pure gold and grey. Boarding school in Bath, some contrast and help to the life she had known, and time, age 16, time to date her marriage. The French tried her mamma to an elderly man in silks, gout-ridden and fat. He held no appeal, so Lola eloped with the younger man. Life on the stage was her desire, in acting. Then to Seville, España. That's it. At the mere age of 20, she had seen more than plenty for a Victorian girl of her age. Lola's sights were firmly fixed upon life upon the stage. Debut at the London Opera, Audience Royale and more, identity revealed. Not Donna Lola Montez, but Mrs. Eliza James. Her desire for fame was not jilted. Across the channel she did flee, Europa, Poland, Paris, with high society. Elegant and worldly, Paris salon boudoir, taking lovers of the highest arts, Franz Liszt, André Dumont. King Ludwig I, he fell madly in love, and so besotted was he granted her wish to become a countess, and outraged his community. They would not tolerate this scandalous mistress their loyal king had known. There was no choice but to act and abdicate his throne. Again she fled, this time to the land of the Swiss, thenceforth to London and East, to rebuild her reputation as the glamorous danseuse. Next came the American goldfields, the New World it was known, California, when the West was wild, golden nuggets to be found. The miners, they adored her, inspired by her wealth and lust. She charmed them, they adored her, still scandal did abound. San Francisco's Sierra Nevadas, again married with her own gold mine. The Countess of Landsberg, she was known, calling Grass Valley her new home. Next to the Antipodes she would venture, with a theatre troupe in tow, a brand new world to conquer, which she did, as we well know. Arriving to Sydney Harbour, 1855 was the time. Governor Dennis and Major Mitchell, a bustling harbour town. The theatres of Australia, Sydney, Melbourne, Adelaide, thenceforth to the goldfields, Bendigo, Ballarat, Castlemaine. Whip cracking down with pistol, a sharper tongue not found, a lightning strike in Ballarat, in Bendigo a bold showdown. By carriage and on horseback, thrilling crowds as she went, she danced the tarantula here in Castlemaine, when 'twas just a city of tents. Gold nuggets were flying, she ran rings around the town. She travelled the world with courage and zest, outraging everyone. The story of Lola is vast yet short. 1821 to 61, she lived such a life at a time when most women never left home. Lola was an enigma, a wonder to behold. Her life lives on amongst us, never to grow old. A woman of the world, fearless, wild and bold.
And wow, what a life. All those photos at the end there are places where she's lived or visited or performed. She really saw the world at a time where not a lot of people got to. So she's an amazing, amazing woman to have in our own history here. Thank you everyone for joining us today. Yes, the print is very, very tiny at the end there. But yeah, it was a lot to fit into her life that she did there. So yeah, if anybody has any questions, we're happy to answer them now. Otherwise, we hope you look forward to joining us tomorrow at 1 p.m. We are going to be joined by Bruce Seymour, who is an author and a former Jeopardy champion. So his fascinating conversation we're going to share with everyone tomorrow at 1. And then Friday we will have James Morton, who's another author who's written about Lola Montez. We have Professor Marita Krauss on Saturday and Reinhold on Sunday. So we hope you'll join us for those and you'll enjoy them and celebrate Lola with us, because she was an amazing person. Right now, was the Lola Montez house in Grass Valley really her house?
It was the one that's standing now was reconstructed. It was built on the old foundation. So it's the one you see there on Mill Street is a replica of the house. And the original house was actually painted white. And she had lots of animals around her house. She had all sorts of critters, and she had 2 bear cubs, and then it went down to 1, and then well, you'll find out more on tomorrow's show.
And we have shared some resources for you in the Facebook post here, and actually Laura, behind you, you have some of the books on Lola Montez that we have in our system at the Doris Foley Library for Historical Research.
I do. This one was actually written by Doris Foley, the Divine Eccentric, and this is Bruce Seymour's book, Lola Montez, A Life. Those are 2 we have, and then there's a number of books that we have here at the Doris Foley Library, biographies and the like. For when we're open again.
You can always get books. Yeah.
Go ahead, Lisa.
You could get the books. Sorry. You can get books through interlibrary loan as well. So, and online. We've added some books to our online sources. So.
You mean ebook?
And this is ebooks, yeah.
Okay.
And this is James Morton's book, but it is not coming through.
Hold it closer.
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of funny. She looks like she's floating in the air by the bridge there.
Oh well, you'll see it on in a couple days, Friday. So we'll be probably adding that too. So, any other questions?
I'm not seeing any other questions right now. We'll definitely keep an eye out for questions in the future. And hello from Sligo. It's always wonderful to hear from Ireland. That's very exciting. We're so happy to share this with you and with people from all around the world. And thank you to those who participated in today's birthday presentation on Lola Montez. There was a lot of wonderful people to join in today.
Yeah, thank you for submitting all your videos and book recommendations and so on. It's amazing how many people are out there that just love Lola.
I think I definitely need to do a research trip to that pub. That looked really fun.
Yeah, looking forward to visiting Sligo someday. All right, thank you everyone. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
See you tomorrow.